Morning students. In the previous class we have seen the problems on classical definition of the probability, but the classical definition fails in some cases. So we defined the classical definition as the probability of any event A is equal to favorable number of cases by total number of cases. Suppose if the total number of cases are infinity, if the denominator tends to infinity, then it is not possible to find the correct probability using the classical definition of the probability. Similarly, suppose if the events are equally likely, not equally likely, and the events are not mutually exclusive, we cannot find the probability using classical definition of the probability. Hence, the necessity allows for a better definition called axiomatic approach of the probability. So, in this class, we are going to discuss the probability axiomatic approach. The classical definition fails in many cases. So, we are seeing for better definition called the axiomatic approach of the probability. So, according to this definition, the probability is defined as a function from the sample space. So now see the definition. Let S be a sample space. Sample space means it contains all sample points. It contains all events. A real valued function P from the power set of S into R is called a probability function on S if the following axioms are satisfied. So in this approach, the probability is defined as a function from the sample space to the real number system, satisfying the three axioms. The first axiom, if A is any event in the sample space S, then the probability of that event must be greater than or equal to 0. And this axiom is called axiom of positivity. The probability of any event in the sample space S should be greater than or equal to 0. The second one is the probability of the sample space S is equal to 1. S is the complete sample space. S is the union of all events, E1 union, E2 union, so on, union, En. So S is the union of all events. Then the probability of that events is equal to 1, and this axiom is called axiom of certainty. That is the second axiom. The third one is if E1, E2 are any two events which are mutually disjoint. Mutually disjoint means both are different. One does not depend on the second. Then P of E1 union E2 is equal to P of E1 plus P of E2. This axiom is called axiom of additivity. So in this approach, the probability is defined as a function from the sample space to the real numbers, satisfying the three axioms. The first axiom is called axiom of positivity. The probability of any event is greater than or equal to 0. The axiom of certainty, the probability of S is equal to 1. And if E1, E2 are disjoint events of sample space S, then P of E1 union E2 is equal to P of E1 plus P of E2. Now see the note, if E1, E2, so on, En are n disjoint events in the sample space S, then P of E1 union E2 union so on union En is equal to P of E1 plus P of E2 plus so on plus P of En. This is by the third axiom, axiom of additivity. There I have defined for two events. In general, if there are n events in the sample space S, then the union probability is equal to the sum of individual probabilities. Now see some theorems on probability. So first theorem to prove that the probability of an impossible event or probability of phi is equal to 0, where P is the probability function. So now I am going to this definition using axiomatic approach of the probability. So we know that the event, let E be the any event in the sample space S, and phi is a null event. Phi is a null event, event with event, then E and phi are mutually disjoint events. Clear? If E is any event in the sample space and phi is a null event, phi contains no sample points, then E and phi are mutually disjoint events. There exists no common points in the sets E and phi, and moreover E union phi is equal to E. Moreover, E union phi is equal to phi. So on taking probability both sides, P of E union phi is equal to P of E. E and phi are mutually disjoint events. So that means what? E intersection phi is equal to phi. And E union phi is equal to E. So on taking probability both sides, P of E union phi is equal to P of E. But by axiom 3, what we can write by axiom number 3? Axiom 3 is the axiom of additivity. So on the left hand side I can write it as P of E plus P of phi. On the right hand side this is P of E. Therefore what P of phi? P of phi is equal to P of E minus P of E, that is equal to 0. Therefore the probability of null event or impossible event is equal to 0. Hence the proof. Next, the second theorem. Prove that the probability of E bar is equal to 1 minus P of E, or P of E is equal to 1 minus P of E complement. Both are same. E complement. The probability of E bar is equal to 1 minus P of E. So to prove this theorem, we are going to use axiomatic approach of the probability. So proof. So we know that E and E bar are mutually disjoint events. Suppose if I take the Venn diagram, S is the sample space, and suppose E is any event, then E complement is the remaining portion. E complement out of E. That means what? E and E complement are mutually disjoint events. There exist no common points for the sets E and E complement. That means what? E and E complement are mutually disjoint. So we know that E and the event E and E complement are disjoint events. Also E union E complement is equal to S. E union E complement will give the complete sample space S. Now on taking probability both sides, P of E union E complement is equal to P of S. But by axiom number 3, what is the axiom 3? Axiom of additivity. So on the left hand side, if E and E bar are mutually disjoint, I can write by axiom 3 P of E plus P of E complement. And by axiom number 2, what is the axiom 2? Axiom of certainty. P of S is equal to 1. Therefore, what is P of E is equal to, or P of E complement is equal to 1 minus P of E. Therefore, P of E bar is equal to 1 minus P of E, or P of E is equal to 1 minus, what is 1 minus P of E bar. So both results will satisfy. Hence the proof. So now see the theorem number 3. Prove that the probability of any event must be lies between 0 and 1. 0 less than or equal to P of A less than or equal to 1. So to prove this theorem, I use one theorem that will be proved later. Suppose if A is contained in B, then we have by this theorem P of A less than or equal to P of B. This theorem I am going to use in this theorem. One result, this will be proved later. If A is subset of B, A is a subset of means this is A, this is B. If A is contained in B, then probability of A must be less than or equal to probability of B. So this theorem I am going to use. So clearly we know that E is contained in S. we know that E is a subset of S. E is a subset of S. So then what I can write? Probability of E less than or equal to P of S. Am I right or not? If E is subset of S, S is the complete sample space. E is any event in the sample space S. So here I am writing A. Suppose A is the event in the sample space S, then P of A less than or equal to P of S, and we know that P of S is equal to 1 by using axiom number 2. So what is P of A less than or equal to 1? That is the second part. P of A less than or equal to 1. Call this is equation number 1. Similarly, I can say that phi is a subset of A. Phi is contained in A. Phi is null set which is subset for all the sets. So since phi contained in A, and by this result probability of phi less than or equal to P of A. But what we know that by theorem number 1, the probability of impossible event is 0. P of phi is 0. So 0 less than or equal to P of A. Call this is equation number 2. So here I am using the result if A contained in B, P of A less than or equal to P of B. So here A is a subset of S, phi is a subset of A. I am taking two conditions. Since phi contained in A, P of phi less than or equal to P of A. By known theorem number 1, it is 0, 0 less than or equal to P of A. Similarly, P of A less than or equal to 1. Therefore, what I can write from 1 and 2? 0 less than or equal to P of A less than or equal to 1. Hence, the theorem. Hence, theorem proved. Theorem number 4, prove that if A is contained in B, the probability of A less than or equal to P of B. So first consider the Venn diagram. It is the sample space S, this is the set B, and this is set A. So on the remaining portion, this is A bar intersection B. Am I right? This is A bar intersection B, the rounded portion. The circular portion is A bar intersection B. Now, from the Venn diagram, what I can write? The set B is equal to A union A bar intersection B. The set B is equal to A union A bar intersection B. I am writing the set B as union of mutually disjoint events. A and A bar intersection B are mutually disjoint events. Now I am assuming the probability both sides. On taking probability both sides, P of B is equal to the probability of A union A bar intersection B. So because these two are mutually disjoint events, by axiom number 3, what is axiom 3? Axiom of additivity, I can write it as P of A plus P of A bar intersection B. On the left hand side, this is P of B. And P of A bar intersection B can be written as P of B minus P of A. P of A bar intersection B can be written as P of B minus P of A. But what we can know that the probability of any event should be positive by axiom 1. Here I am using axiom 1. Axiom 1 inchi, the probability of any event is greater than or equal to 0 for event A in the sample space S. So here the left hand side, this must be greater than or equal to 0. Therefore what I can write? P of B minus P of A always greater than or equal to 0, because it is the probability of the some event in the sample space S. So the probability must be greater than or equal to 0. So the difference also greater than or equal to 0. Therefore what? P of B greater than or equal to P of A, or P of A less than or equal to P of B. That is our result. P of A less than or equal to P of B. Therefore hence the proof. Next theorem. If A and B are any two sets in the sample space S, then prove that P of A bar intersection B is equal to P of B minus P of A intersection B, and similarly P of A intersection B bar is P of A minus P of A intersection B. I will prove first theorem and you do second the one as homework. So P of A intersection B, you have to show that P of B minus P of A intersection B. So for this purpose, we consider the sample space S, and let us it is the set A and set B. The common portion is A intersection B, and this is A intersection B complement, this portion. This is A intersection B complement, shaded portion, and this is this portion. This is A bar intersection B. This portion is A bar intersection B. So what our aim is, I want to write the set B as union of two mutually exclusive events. The set B, by B means the entire set. This can be written as, this part is as one set and the remaining part as another set. So from the Venn diagram, so what I can write, B is equal to A intersection B union A bar intersection B. Here I represented the set B as union of two mutually disjoint events. There exists no common points between the two sets. Now, on taking probability both sides, P of B is equal to probability of A intersection B union A bar intersection B. Because these two are mutually disjoint, so by axiom of additivity or by axiom number 3, I can write the right hand side as P of A intersection B plus P of A bar intersection B is equal to, on the left hand side it is P of B. Now what is our requirement? Therefore, P of A bar intersection B is equal, this is equal to P of B. On taking out this on the left hand side, P of A intersection B, that is our result. P of A bar intersection B is equal to P of B, P of B minus P of A intersection B. Similarly, we can prove the second result as by considering the set A. Here you have taken the set B from the Venn diagram. Similarly, by taking the set A as union of two exclusive events, A intersection B complement union A intersection B, on taking probability you will get the second result. The second result take as homework. So hence the proof, hence the thing. The next result, law of addition of probability, or addition theorem on probability. So see the statement, let A and B are any two events in the sample space S, then P of A union B is equal to P of A plus P of B minus P of A intersection B. That is the theorem. So to prove this theorem, I take the Venn diagram. So it is the sample space S, this is A, this is the set B. So already we have seen in the last problem. And what is this common portion? A intersection B, and this portion A intersection B complement, this portion. So excluding this common portion A intersection B bar, and this is A bar intersection B. So I am writing from the Venn diagram, A union B, I can represent A union B as union of two mutually disjoint events. A union B means entire portion. A union B means A and B union, the total portion, the entire portion. So this can be represented as union of two mutually exclusive events as A union, A under this event, the entire event, union this portion can be written as A bar intersection B. The set A union B. A union B means total portion. This can be represented as A union. The remaining part is A bar intersection B. I am representing the set A as union of two mutually disjoint events A and A bar intersection B. So on taking probability both sides. Now on taking probability, P of A union B is equal to the probability of A union A bar intersection B. These two are mutually exclusive events. Keep in your mind. So then I can apply axiom number 3 on the right hand side. Axiom 3 is, if A and B are two mutually disjoint events, P of A union B can be represented as P of A plus P of B. And here P of A plus P of A bar intersection B, that is P of A union B. Therefore, P of A bar intersection B is equal to P of, so call this is equation number 1. Now, also we can have from the Venn diagram the set B. Also we have the set B. Set B can be represented as union of two mutually exclusive events as A intersection B union A bar intersection B. I am considering two sets. One is A union B set. Here consider the set B. So on taking probability both sides, P of B is equal to probability of A intersection B union A bar intersection B. So by axiom number 3, what is by axiom 3? These two are mutually disjoint. So I can write on the right hand side P of A intersection B plus P of A bar intersection B is equal to P of B. Therefore, P of A bar intersection B value is equal to P of B minus P of A intersection B. Call this is equation number 2. P of A bar intersection B is P of B. I am writing on the left hand side minus P of A intersection B. Now substitute the equation 2 in 1. Now substitute the equation 2 in 1. So on substituting equation 2 in 1, then 1 implies, what is equation 1? P of A union B is equal to P of A plus, so the entire term can be replaced by P of B minus P of A intersection B. So that is the required result. P of A union B is equal to P of A plus P of B minus P of A intersection B, which we call it as the addition theorem on probability. Hence, the proof. So this is the addition theorem for 2 events. Similarly, for 3 events, how I can define? For 3 events, P of A union B union C is equal to P of A plus P of B plus P of C minus P of A intersection B minus P of B intersection C minus P of C intersection A plus P of A intersection B intersection C. So this is the addition theorem for 3 events. So try to solve this as a homework. So if it is not possible, I will tell you in the next class. Thank you.